jasmine, oolong, green, and white. Long ago, these 4 teas were skillfully brewed at the Blissful Brew. Then, everything changed when the shop's popularity threatened its existence. All Mr. Okuran, the shop's owner and tea master, could do was to recruit 4 teenage orphans to learn his trade and staff his shop. A year has passed since the orphans were hired, and although their skills have progressed, they still have a lot to learn before they can brew anything. But I believe that they have the potential to make the Blissful Brew the greatest tea shop in the world. Last time on Benders and Brews, an Avatar Legends podcast.
Island shores where we met. So is there any part of Whaletail Island that is distinct enough to know that's exactly where you met Mr. Okuran?
You can see in the distance there seems to be a flagpole that outcrops from a
Benders and
vessel.
Brews,
There are
an
pirates
Avatar Legends
that
podcast.
are actively on this island. And looking at your map, you're able to see where it is where you need to go next.
I was actually totally interested in joining the pirate crew back then. Okay, fine. You want to know my real name? Okay, it's Ash, okay?
Following the map, you eventually find yourself in near a cave. Discover a large chamber. There are plants that have sprung up thanks to this light, the sunlight that's able to get inside of this cave, all throughout the cave, crawling up the sides of the rocky walls, as well as filling the entire floor with various foliage. All of the plants that are in here all seem to be different kinds of herbs or plants that are often used in tea making in different flavorings or for their aromas. You manage to sniff your way over to the mint. You can see a small corner of what looks like a wooden box. Inside, you find a small stone tablet that seems to feature a map-like drawing on it. But when you look at the edges of this tablet, you feel as though maybe it's been broken and there might be more pieces to it. Additionally, you find a small letter to Bill, and then there's another letter to Guao. You hear a voice from behind you at the entrance of the cave. Well, well, well. A bunch of kids just chilling in a cave on my island. And as you turn around, you see a large group of pirates all blocking the entrance to the cave, staring at you. Hey, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Benders and Brews podcast. There we go. It has been a while since we have been in the studio together recording a new episode. So, it might not seem long to you guys because an episode keeps coming out every week. So, you guys get the good end of the stick. But here in the studio, sometimes, it's an interesting, fun challenge to get things scheduled. But here we are again. We're back.
What year is it?
I think it's 2023. The year of our Lord. I feel like they just say that. You just say that, right?
People say that, yeah. The year of our Lord, 2023.
Yep. Explicitly. Awesome. Well, welcome back, all of you in the little room we call a studio. I hope you guys had a good time up until now. For lack of better
words. Been terrible.
We were having fun until you called us back here.
That's true. Yes, I've ruined our proverbial vacation.
Right.
It is summer. It is summer of 2023. So yeah, we all kind of had vacations or other stuff that came up. Connor did Ragbri, if you know what that is.
Cool.
It was sick.
It is a bike challenge. It's not really a race, right?
No, it's not a race. It's more of like a marathon of
Yeah.
bikes.
Can you go?
You can,
Yeah.
Well, it goes from the left side of Iowa all the way to the other side. So I think it's 500 miles in total.
That's right. We also have another individual in the studio with us that's not normally in the studio with us, in case you hear her in the background. So that's exciting too. So big news all around, except for Cameron. He didn't have any big news.
Wow.
Do you have big news? What's your biggest news?
I pre-ordered the new expansion for Ark Nova.
Hey, all right. Well, there you go. Fantastic. Awesome.
I watched Terminator 2.
Oh, okay.
That was for the first time. It was pretty good.
Yeah, we've been withholding spoilers from you for such a long time.
I appreciate all of it.
I'm pretty sure I fell asleep. I was not into any of the Terminator movies. That's just me. But anyways, let's jump into the fun facts, character facts. So Connor, aka Brock, what do you got?
Yeah, so Brock, when he needs to get a workout in, he can just literally just grab the ground, and he knows exactly how much weight he wants to pull.
Oh.
So he'll pull exactly that much weight out of the ground with him, out of stone. It's how he stays fit, how he stays, chiseled on these adventures.
Big and swole and muscular.
Yep.
As we all know him for.
Mm-hmm. Big, swole, muscular man.
Some people have perfect pitch. Brock has what would you call it? Perfect pound or something.
Perfect pound.
He has full control over his,
Is it that he perfectly knows how much to grab, or is it just that he tries to pull as much as he can and only pulls his limit, and then he says it's because he wanted that much?
No, it's like if he's going for reps, you can't pull his 1 rep max there. It's okay, so I want to pull like 100 pounds, and he just knows how he just sticks his hands in the ground. And he just pulls up 100 pounds.
That is 100 pounds.
That is a weird talent.
That is a weird talent. It's like being able to put your finger into water and know exactly what temperature it is.
It's like if you were to go to a gym and then guy did a bench press and then they put on an unknown amount of weight and then he had to do 1 rep and then tell you exactly how much was on it. That's his talent.
That's
his
what
talent.
He can do.
That's what he does. All right, Dave playing Guo.
Guo. So Guo-han, gonna get a little meta here because I was trying to think of interesting facts about the character. And I'm like, have I done this fact before? I can't remember. Maybe we'll do it again. But that's kind of how I am in real life sometimes. I'm like given a certain set of inputs, I will come up with the same joke and then realize later that I've made that same joke previously.
Okay.
And it's not like I'm doing it on purpose, like it's a bit. Because there's always the callback bit or whatever.
Right.
Sometimes I just forget, and my brain just gives the same creative or non-creative output.
That's fair. No, that's totally fair.
Guo does that as well.
Okay.
He calls it the old reliable.
The old reliable. There you go. That's right. Guo is the old reliable callback bit.
Boy.
Perfect. Boy. Yes, absolutely. Awesome. Fantastic. Expect to hear some classics from old Guo. Cameron playing Bill Dorr. What's Bill Dorr doing these days, or all his days?
I said this beforehand, and I think I'll go with it. Bill goes down to the old folks' home and he plays pie show with the old folks.
Okay.
As well as the park.
Well, yeah, that too. But the reason he goes to the old folks' home is because he visits the one old guy from the prequel.
Oh, from the episode we recorded just recently.
Mr. Kuro.
It could have been a long time ago. We don't know. But
well, it'll be, two episodes ago, I believe. The one shot.
From when this aired, yeah.
The Bill and Brock one shot, which if you haven't listened to that, highly recommend it. It was very entertaining.
But there's an old guy in it, and his name's Koro, and Bill goes and plays pie show with him, and just to keep up with him, because he kind of takes a little blame for why he's in there. So
yeah.
And he should
take
some blame.
But I like to think that Kuro has accepted, where he's at, realized maybe some of the errors of his ways, maybe let go of some things, which is really healthy.
So that's what Bill does. Sometimes.
Yeah, so he's good.
He doesn't go a lot, to be honest, but enough that's a couple times a month.
Right. Which is fair. Right on. Well, good for Bill. Nice community service, hanging out with old people. All right, Michaela playing Mika. Do you got something?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, she guesses.
Well, me and the Ghost Writer were talking about my fun fact. And apparently, Mika had an illegitimate child.
What?
Yep.
What?
Like just recently.
What?
This lore.
What?
like,
aren't you
what?
17?
Yeah,
is
that kind of concerning?
Teenage pregnancies happen.
Is that why you didn't go with us to the pirate island?
Okay.
She's with you at the pirate. Okay, hold on.
She was an NPC at one point, right?
I'm confused.
Okay. No, but for real, me, Michaela, had a baby.
Yeah.
So
Little Millie.
If you hear little noises in the background, sorry, it's her. But as for Mika, she actually does not want a family of her own someday. So there is no illegitimate child.
Okay.
Oh, I was gonna say that's gonna make for one wild freak.
I was gonna
Just
say,
saying.
man, we're gonna have wow. So to clarify, with all those listening out there is no illegitimate child. That was a joke.
Oh.
I just really want to emphasize that for everyone listening, so that we don't get the right idea going forward.
It could just explain some of the background noise, but
Right.
we won't go with it.
Going forward, Michaela and Dave did have a legitimate child, and she is with us today in the studio.
I was going to say, this leaves the door open still for her having a legitimate child and a secret husband.
Yes. It's the illegitimate husband, but a legitimate child. Awesome. All right. Well, let's jump into it. All right. So you all left off last time as you realized you were trapped inside the cave that you had found based on Mr. Okuran's map that he had given you and the riddle that was associated with it. You found some interesting hints and clues and a map piece that will help move you towards your end goal of finding the will. Sort of the backup copy of the will, I suppose, that Mr. Okuran had left behind. It's the official will. I digress. You went into this cave that is on Whaletail Island, and you found all this stuff, and then you turned around only to find out that you were surrounded by pirates, and they have captured you, and they are taking you back to their ship. Now, two of the members of this group, recognize the leader and maybe a couple of the pirates that are involved, and that would be Bill Dorr and Guohan. Both of you have had a run-in with, at the very least, the pirate captain. And you recognize him. He looks a little familiar. One thing that you do notice that's a little bit different since the last time that you saw him is one of his legs, kind of like from his knee down to the rest of his leg, is made of stone. So he kind of hobbles it. He obviously must be a earthbender because he can move it to some extent, but it still looks a little bit awkward. So it's not like a full limp. It almost can like move normally like a normal leg would, but obviously it's very obvious that it's made out of a stone material. And it seems that the rest of his leg is gone. Needless to say, they are leading you back to their ship. Somewhat roughly, but I mean, unless you guys are cooperating for the most part. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, let's say, yeah, okay.
Does he recognize us?
He does not recognize you. I think both of you have aged at least a little bit to a point where he might not necessarily like catch on, or it might be a situation of he's just been through a lot and he's not really thinking back. I think at the very least, given his interactions, he definitely wouldn't recognize Guo because given Guo's backstory and the time that he met him, he didn't really meet him at all. You kind of like saw him and overheard a conversation he was having.
He was doing some shady smuggling stuff. Right?
Exactly. Yep. And so you didn't even like talk to him. I don't know if he necessarily would have seen you or would have been really passing glance.
But either way, this one chest hair really distinguishes Guo from all the chest hair.
Right. He said, I might not recognize you per se, but I sure do recognize that there chest hair. Bill, on the other hand, you spent an actual amount of time with this individual. But I would say that of everybody in the group, you've probably had the most time to change a little bit in some way, shape, or form, physically, maturity-wise, etc. So at the moment... I do
have a scar, though.
You do have a scar. Oh, that's true. You do have a fairly memorable scar. Weren't you hiding that, though?
I don't hide it. Well, I can't hide it, really, on my right.
That's true.
Yes, I have a scar. It's on my right hand.
Right.
So...
He might not have noticed. Whatever the case, at the very least, he doesn't recognize you currently.
I mean, I could be hiding it, too.
That's also true.
I could just have it
you
in
could be
my
hiding
pocket.
it right now, yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
I guess that... if he doesn't recognize me immediately, I would definitely hide it in my... my side of my pant pocket or whatever.
Right. And that's fair.
The
possibility that he might recognize you later, who knows? We'll see.
Whatever the case, you guys follow him back to his pirate ship. They take you aboard their ship, and they tie you up, just kind of binding your hands and your legs, and then kind of letting you sit down on the ship. The captain starts to pace back and forth in front of you, and he says, well. You kids, you thought you could hide your secret about the treasure from us, but what you didn't realize was that Calcone, and he points at one of the crewmates. He's a very well-dressed, he has like frilly clothes on. You almost could wonder out of game that he probably belonged to Prince's like band or group, or just his entourage based on the clothes that he wears. Yes, Calcone was in Chin Village, and he noticed your whole escapade and overheard some conversations about a secret hidden treasure you guys are headed towards. So, we're gonna be following or kind of leading you to where you're supposed to be headed, but we expect a piece of the treasure.
Well, at least we don't have to solve the puzzle now. They're just going to take us right there.
Well, actually, the next question I was going to have is, where are we headed?
Did we get that far, guys?
I don't think so.
Okay.
We were still kind of deciphering it.
Well, I tell you what.
Rudely interrupted us. We were in the middle of that.
Well, all right. Well, I tell you what. And he's like, hand me the note. Hand me whatever you got. You got a map? You got some kind of letter telling you where you're supposed to go? What have you?
Memories.
Okay, I guess we're gonna have to talk about the memories.
Oh, Guo, it's your note.
I'm just looking at Guo.
Well, it feels like we were in that cave for months.
Okay.
Though it was less than 30 minutes.
Let me explore the caverns of my memory.
Oh, okay. So you think back. Okay, you lift up the note. Do you just read it to him, or do you give it to him?
I read it.
Well, we're tied up. Can
I
you
pull
read it?
I reach into
Oh,
my...
yeah, he like awkwardly reaches into his
my
pocket.
bag and I start pulling it out, and Dilbert's tentacles hanging on to him. I slap him.
tie that squid up too.
Oh, no.
They take him and they put like a little piece of twine around all his tentacles.
A lot of rope.
And Dilbert immediately like moves one out because it's a squid. You're not gonna be able to hold that thing.
What about Mika's non-existent fox dog?
She's hiding in the bushes.
She's apparently hiding in the non-existent bush. No, I'm just kidding. She's hiding in the bushes.
She's hiding in one of them sea bushes.
A patch of sea cucumber.
I'm not a fan of, people, so.
You aren't either, but you're still tied up, so.
Yeah, but I was stuck with you guys.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
You dweebs.
Yes, let me unroll this note and read it.
All right, so you read through the note, which reads, "Whoa, you're next up, my friend. When we first met, you were still working for the carnival. I know that we all have things in life we look back on and despise or wish never happened to us, but always remember that those experiences are there to strengthen us, and the fact that we push on shows that we're stronger than the things that try to hold us back. Never let anyone or anything hold you back, Woe. The coming quest of this hunt will rely heavily on you, my boy, but don't think that doesn't mean you won't need your friends." And then there are a series of sort of bullet points. The first one reading, "Look down to the bottom for your next destination." The second one says, "Read between the lines to seek out an old friend of mine." And the third bullet point says, "Remember the tune, you'll need it again soon. Pull some strings to hear the music sing." And the pirate kind of looks at you and he says, "Look down to the bottom for your next destination." What exactly does that mean? And he goes, "Wait a minute." And he grabs Guo and he kind of like leans him up and he looks at the seat of your pants and he says, "This doesn't tell me anything. And it feels a little weird." And he puts you back down. He says, what does he mean by the bottom for your next destination? What am I supposed to look at?"
rubs his bottom. What did this note come in? A box?
Yes.
Yeah,
Like a tiny chest, just like the one
figured
we
out this part already.
Yeah.
We did.
You remember, and I'm telling you what you remember rather than just like saying you tell anybody, but you remember that on the bottom of the box there was a little insignia, and it said that the box was made in Yudao.
Is that where we need to go?
Yes.
Okay.
And
They're interpreting the information.
well, we believe it's possible we're supposed to go to Yudao.
Yudao. Oh, all right. Yeah, we could do that. That's not too long of a jaunt. All right. Everyone,
He shouts to his crew.
load up. Get ready to sail. We are headed to Yudao.
And with that, the boat pulls anchor. Your imaginary fox dog jumps inside the bottom of the ship somewhere and hides amidst the goodies. And the ship is on the seas, making its way towards Yudao. Once you guys are on the water, he looks around. He says,
All right. First of all, for the business of what kind of benders are you? We gotta know that before we get any further.
Why do you need to know?
It's important. I'll tell you after you tell me, but if you give me an answer I like, I'll untie you.
Can we have like a little powwow sesh to see you?
You want me to let you have an aside on my ship?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Okay.
So
Everybody let these four have their peace between each other.
Generous.
so kind of you. Thank you.
That's right.
So, do y'all want to like lie, or you want to tell them the truth? What's just so we're all on the same page? Are we gonna lie or tell them the truth?
Lie.
Okay. So, what do we tell them?
I was gonna say water.
You like say you're a waterbender,
Yeah.
and then like
You
for
should say fire. Mika.
I'm nothing.
That'd be fun.
you're not a bender.
Say stick bender.
Nope,
You're a
nothing.
stick bender. So
Fucking bench
okay,
sticks.
That's silly. Who would ever say they're a stick bender?
So should we stay away from saying firebenders? Because I don't think they would want any of firebenders on a wooden ship.
Firebender on it. Anywhere, actually.
On a
Probably
wood.
not friends with the
But
fire.
we're in the middle of the
Or they
ocean.
might be.
I don't know if they're. I don't know. Maybe just not say fire, and then so I'll say like water as well.
Why have we just all said water?
We're just all
I
waterbenders.
think I'll just say the truth. Well,
All right.
maybe I'll lead with a joke, and then
Yeah, that's
I'll
great.
follow
I
with
like
the
this.
truth.
Okay, so you lead with a joke, follow with the truth, and then based on his response, we'll see if we want to be truthful or lie to him.
I will say what I feel like in the moment.
Yeah, sounds good.
all right.
Okay, ready, break.
You say all tied up. Break. You just all like nod your heads and you kind of like shuffle back around.
Oh, am I allowed to come over and talk to you now?
No, I'd
You
rather
left?
you not.
I mean, I was just standing away
Slightly
far enough
farther
to give you
away.
honest, unnoticed discussion between the four of you.
And then from behind Bill, you hear, "Now presenting the amazing Guohan." And then Guo pops out. He says,
Where do you pop?
slowly
And you kind of like pop.
We're still tied up.
We're still tied up, so you're just kind of slow.
You just like fall over from
I
behind like
makes
a
my jazz hands a little less impressive. Like down by my hips or right next to my face.
A little bit of both.
I'm a bodybender, and I take my finger and I bend it back and touch my wrist.
I won't lie, that is quite impressive. I remember once I did some dealings with a feller that was in the circus, but I don't remember seeing anyone that could do quite that. So well done.
Huh? Take it like that. I switch to like the other side. Do that hand too.
Some of the pirate crew are like clapping. Whoa!
I put them like both together and press them so
They do
like the
splits.
fingers are pushing each other back.
You just look like you're doing like Naruto things.
Nice, yeah. It's more
It'd be a lot easier to do this if I wasn't all tied up.
Oh yeah! The pirate captain starts to kind of like walk away from you a little bit, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that sure would be nice." And he turns around really fast, and he's holding a bucket of mop water, and he flings it towards you.
Oh. Wait. He uses the water.
You're
all wet.
Okay, so you're all wet. Nothing happens. He goes, "Oh, okay, all right, good to know, good to know." He's probably not a waterbender.
Okay, but also, I'm an earthbender. I'm not the best earthbender, but I can move some stuff.
He walks up to you and he puts his hand on your shoulder and he's like, "It took you a little while, but I appreciate your honesty." And then he turns to the rest of you and he's like, "All right, what about the rest of you?"
I'm a stick bender.
Quo just smells like good one.
Gives him a thumbs up.
He says, "Okay." And he walks around for a little bit and he's like, "Crap, that mop water thing was a one-try deal."
I think he's out of mop water.
Good thing there's no more water around this
I can't
boat.
think of any more water anywhere near here.
You see him lean over to one of the other pirates and he whispers something in their ear, and they run downstairs like into the middle of the ship, and then all of a sudden this big hefty pirate dude in like a chef's hat comes walking up, and he's carrying a stick with some hot like burning end or whatever, and he hands it to the pirate captain. He's like, "You wouldn't be lying to me, would ya?" And he starts moving it towards you closer and closer and closer to your face.
Dude, he has a stick.
Yeah, look at
Yeah, and I've got a stick too, and it's pretty hot. Man, I'm sure a firebender would
I'm
just...
like trying to like motion above my head to like my bow staff that is on my back.
Oh, that's a nice staff you got there. I hope you have the eyes to be able to see where
It's
you're
a
using
joke.
it.
I can't bend. I just use a stick.
He puts it like quarter of an inch from your face. You can feel the heat starting to sting your cheek a little bit.
I'm definitely pushing away from that.
Okay,
It's not
okay.
like I'm-
He
yeah.
sees you struggling and squirming, and he goes, okay, all right. I suppose you're not a firebender, and that's good. All right, what about the other two of you, eh?
I am also an earthbender, like my friend Guo here.
Well, that was easy. All right, no test for you.
Figured just move it along.
I appreciate that. All right, little lady.
He's not lying.
Well, he's too nice.
He starts to.
He's too nice as he tests all of us.
Well, he didn't test
starts
me.
Shenanigans.
Yeah, he just told the
I don't know what
truth.
you're talking about. I'm having a
I
great
told
time.
the truth the first time, and well, he still threatened to poke me with a stick. So I don't know.
I don't know. He
He's a
didn't
testy
test
bunch.
me. I'm having a great time. I'm chilling.
He starts to come towards you with the burning stick, and he's like, "Well, tell me what you are."
Girl.
Okay, give me more details about your bending abilities.
Oh, I don't have any of those.
And he gets really close with the burning
And I start
stick.
crying.
Oh, okay, I feel kind of bad. All right, Cookie, take this away. He hands the fiery stick back to his chef, who takes it back. He goes, "All right, untie the lot. If they're just a bunch of earthbenders and non-benders, they're not going to cause us any trouble out here on the sea. But that does mean we can put them to work." And everyone goes, "Ha!"
Oh, is that what you threw this mop at me?
Actually, that is a good point. You will be mopping.
Oh, man.
In
It's
fact,
just like the circus.
Good thing he grabbed it first.
I need some. Does anybody else like to mop as well?
I know my way around some dirty water.
All right, then you'll be mopping along with him there,
All
big
right.
fella.
Bill loves to clean bathrooms.
Wait, no.
All right, hold on. I only need 2 moppers. So he hands both of you a mop and a bucket, and he just it really doesn't matter where you start. The whole thing needs to be mopped. Seawater and whatnot. So just, get to it. All right, there are other 2 of you. I'm sending you down to help Cookie in the kitchen, making food.
and washing dishes.
No!
Well,
you did it.
Why are you saying no, Mika? You did that all the time back at our job.
Yeah, I don't want to do it
You're
anymore.
basically a pro.
I don't
She's
wanna
like,
do
man,
it
when Mr.
anymore.
Okuran
Well,
died,
then
you
I
should
was
have
like,
hopped
heck yeah,
on
I
mop
could be an
duty.
adventurer. I was off permanently gone.
Oh my
away
gosh.
Oh, that sounds great.
Oh, well, good. He's got a good attitude about this. All right. Break. Go. Get to work.
Wait,
What?
what's your name?
My name is Captain Rockfoot.
Did you have that name before you
Yeah,
got that
that's what
foot?
I thought too.
And Calcone, the guy that he mentioned earlier, is just like, don't ask him about that. Oh, jeez.
Well, if you're gonna name yourself Rockfoot, I feel like if it's not,
You didn't
All
name
right.
yourself that.
You want to know the story?
yes, anything to get me out of mop duty for as long as I can.
I'll tell you the story. Once, not too long ago, I used to be known as Captain Luckyfoot. But then, we were attacked by a creature straight from the depths of hell. We call it Kuma. It's a great sea serpent mixed with a sort of gator creature. It's a gator shark. I don't know why I said the rest of the description. It's a gator shark. Leapt onto our boat, bit off me lucky leg, and jumped right back into the waters to feast on it.
A gator shark. Whoa.
Yes, quite a creature, a dangerous creature, to be exact. And it's somewhere out there. I'll find it one of these days. But for now, we're headed to Udao to get some treasure, eh? I mean, it wasn't really a question, but...
Yar.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Yar.
There you go. Good pirates you'll be. All right. Anyway, that's the story. Get to work. And he sends you guys off to your respective areas.
Are we still tied up?
No, he is untied.
Are you like me, a fan of piracy or privateering out in your D&D campaign? Well, check this out. We have been working on a brand new airship combat system that means you and your privateer crew can now take to the skies and pillage at new heights. Within this system, you will get three-dimensional dynamic movement and combat rules. You'll get a brand new updated aircrew system, as well as brand new spells, items, creatures, and example airships for you to use in your campaign, as well as crews to put on them. But I think the coolest part about all of this is we have a custom ship builder application that will allow you to customize and build your very own airship. It means you and your team can have exactly what you want as you take on the skies. If you're interested in any of that, check out our Sky Zephyrs Kickstarter here at Hermie and the Dude.
Snyder's Return is a tabletop roleplay interview and actual play podcast. We chat with content creators from both mainstream and indie publishers, and we release actual play episodes of systems like our City of Mist game, Meddlers, Monsters and Madmen, and more games coming in the future. We also have a TTRPG review show on YouTube, Fly Like a D6. Come and check us out. You can find us on Twitter at Return Snyder, Instagram Snyders_return. You can find us on YouTube at Snyder's Return, Discord, and everywhere you get your podcasts.
Hey everyone, Skylar here, your friendly neighborhood game master. I just wanted to take a moment to let you know that we at Benders and Brews have been working our creative juices extra hard and pushing our artistic skills to the max in order to bring you some sick Benders and Brews merch. That's right, you can head on over to the TeePublic shop we created where you can snag shirts, stickers, mugs, and so much more with your favorite B&B characters on them. Grab a Chibi Mika baseball t-shirt, or maybe you want a broccoli mug designed with the Employee Blissful Brew Tea Shop logo. There's all of those and more, and even more down the road when we come up with ideas. So head on over to TeePublic and search for Benders and Brews, or you can follow us on social media where we'll post the links that'll be easily available to all of you.
And of course, if you get some of our merch, be sure to tag us in a photo of you with the respective B&B swag, because all of us at the studio would love to see it. Thanks for listening. Let's get back to the show. Those who are mopping are placed with the sailing master, and she watches over you guys just to make sure that you guys are doing your work. She also directs other people on the ship as they are doing their work. I'll leave it at that in case you guys want to talk to her and find out more. For those that are downstairs inside the ship, you are with the cook, who, as previously mentioned, his name is Cookie. It is an old monk with airbending tattoos all over his body. And as we've mentioned before, with the timeline, this is technically kind of in the very early stages of the Fire Nation starting kind of their World War concept. So, airbenders, although not often seen, are not unseen. You might come across them every once in a while. This would be like as Aang is growing up, way out there in the air temple kind of concept. So you guys don't see them very often, but you might have run across them in your travels. This man, he's very quiet. He's, like I said, older, and he's stirring away at a big old pot. So you guys come in, and he kind of directs you to chopping up vegetables, chopping up some meats, a variety of other kitchen tasks, cleaning the occasional dishes, make sure that he can use them for the next part of whatever it is that he's making. It looks like a big old pot of stew. So, anybody like to interact in any way, shape, or form, or do anything specific? Find out more about the crew, maybe?
I'll go over and talk to that woman.
Sue? Okay. So yeah, you go up to talk to Sue. She says, "What are you doing, lad? Get back to work."
I need to mop everywhere. I'd figure I could mop here and
You're
talk
just
to you.
standing there mopping in front of her.
Yeah, just
talking to her.
I'll just mop right here, right around here. Any chance you could tell me who you guys are, what we're doing here?
Oh, you want to know about the pirates? Why, are you interested in the pirate life there, fella?
Well, I mean, you're giving us a lift over to where we need to go, so I'm interested in it, at least right now.
Well, first things first, you need to look up there, and she points up towards where the flag is kept at the very top of the crow's nest, the mast. And above there you see a blood red flag, and in sort of a white pattern you see the classic crossbones, but instead of a skull you see a boar's head. She says, "That's right, we're the bloody porcupines."
That's a cool name.
Pretty cool, absolutely. We're a pretty famous pirate crew for sure. Sailing the seas and causing all sorts of ruckus and troubles. What else do you want to know?
Well, I mean, why do you want to just kidnap four kids here? Like, why'd you guys want to kidnap us?
Well, we want your treasure, of course.
The treasure is it's just a slip of paper, man.
See, now the lies happen. So you should have said that kind of thing before we pulled you off the shores.
Well, I mean, hindsight's 20/20, as they say. But so, who are you?
Well, my name's Sue.
And what do you do on the ship here, Sue?
Yes, I'm the sailing master. I do a lot of the navigating, the planning, strategizing, so on and so forth when it comes to where we should go, when we should go, and what we need to do while we're there.
Okay. Well, since we'll be sort of roommates for the next few days, any particular people we should be looking out for on this ship?
Looking out for? What are you worried about?
Nothing, just in case. Just don't want to get on anybody's bad side, and if there's anyone with a particularly short fuse or anything like that, we just want to try and steer clear.
Short fuse, eh? Well, we definitely have those. You see that man over there? And she points, and then up at where, standing right next to the captain who's kind of steering the ship, you see a sort of stern man who stands with such a presence that suggests that maybe he was part of a military group of some kind, probably a high-ranking military group, whatever the case. Very chiseled face, fairly well built. And she says, "That right there, that's Bango. He's the hothead of the crew. He's the first mate to the captain. And he used to be some sort of earthbender general captain, I'm not sure. But he's not somebody that you want to mess with or get on the wrong side of.
Okay. All right, well.
What did this Sue lady look like?
Oh, yeah, Sue. So she wears waterbender garb, actually. She's got kind of like the blue to kind of, almost grayish colored robes that really suggest waterbender with the fur on the boots with the fur, other things with the fur like fringe, things along those lines. She seems maybe in like her late 20s, early 30s, so she's like fairly young. But she definitely looks like she's always kind of keeping an eye about her. Even when you're talking to her, she kind of like glances around, glances at the sea. Seems like easily distracted, but you're not sure if she's easily distracted or she's just very like keen.
So, where did Bill get drafted to? Where's Bill at?
He went down into the ship where they have the kitchen at.
Okay. Now I'm up on the deck with Brock.
With Brock.
I go lean over to Brock. I'm like, Brock, did I just hear you're rooming with that lady? Nice.
I mean, like, not yet, but she wants me, you can tell.
Oh, yeah.
I just kind of give him a little fist bump, and then I want to walk over to...
Sue just, like, goes, and she rolls her eyes, and she just walks away. Back to mopping.
See, she avoided it. She wants me. So I want to sort of stroll over to Bango, but if you have more to say to Sue.
I just say, don't worry, Sue, I'm on it. And I start climbing up to the crow's nest because I think she wanted me to mop up there.
What are you doing?
I'm mopping.
Up there. And she pauses for a moment and she says, I guess nobody ever does mop up there. Now that I think about it, that place probably reeks.
Yeah, they told me to clean this ship from top to bottom.
Well, all right. I can't argue with that. Fair enough.
All right, and Guo climbs up there. And is there anybody up there?
Currently, no.
And he cleans it out. He cleans out a little Guo-sized area first. Suitable for napping.
You see Calcone is like walking by underneath the crow's nest and there's water like dripping down and it gets onto his frilly shirt. He goes, I say. You keep it to yourself up there. I feel like this wasn't exactly what he sounded like in that
episode. Close, but also there is one huge trait that you forgot about Coconut.
Oh, he speaks in very eloquent.
Eloquent, but you forgot his legs are tiny, but his upper body is absolutely jacked. Like
I do
beyond
forget about that.
jacked.
You're right.
Because
That's
in the
true.
prequel, he had to turn sideways to walk through doorways because that's how big his upper body was.
You're right.
I do remember the fact you didn't say that kind of upset me.
I'm so sorry. Yes, no, you're 100% right.
He's like a very scrawny little man with this huge upper body.
He is the prime example of a Dorito bod. So, yes.
But then his voice is like super high.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he continues walking. I mean, he's...
Oh, and before Lisa, I say, think fast, big mouth, and I wring my mop out in his general direction.
I wring my mop in your general direction. Do you want to...
Did you bring the bucket up there too?
Yeah.
So you brought a mop and a bucket and you're climbing up to a crow's nest?
Oh, I'm up
He was in the circus, you know.
That's true.
That's true. He shimmied up pretty easy. I wasn't even gonna make him roll for anything. Although now I kind of want to make him roll for something.
Well, now when he's trying to drop a mop bucket,
all right.
On him.
Yeah. Do you want to do
this guy?
Huh?
The guy.
Yeah, he kind of looks like that guy. Yeah.
Do you want to do a push your luck?
Yeah.
Of course.
My first thought was when Skylar first described him to me was Mugshot from the Sly Cooper series.
Oh.
Who's so big and buff that he walks on his hands instead of his legs because his legs are so puny.
Right.
But that was my first thought. But
I was thinking kind of along the lines of like Max from Cats Don't Dance. He was like the butler, and he was just that massive dude, but he kind of had like pretty normal tiny legs. So you walked really weird.
I got an 11.
Nice. All right, your boldness pays off despite the cost. You gain an additional lucky opportunity. Okay. No, I totally get that. So you wring this mop out, and sure enough, this big splash of dirty water splashes all over Calcone. And he says, "Egad, I do say why." But as you do this, you listen and you hear everyone else that's on the top deck that just saw you do this starts cracking up laughing. They all got a kick out of it. And to top that off, Calcone says, "Well, I do say, I see how it is. I will take my leave." And he storms off and kind of disappears into the ship, probably to his room or
Turning
whatever.
sideways.
Yes, turning sideways to go in through the doorway. He disappears inside the ship. So you have, just putting this out there, I don't know if it's really an opportunity that you're looking to take advantage of. But firstly, everybody seems to have enjoyed your sense of humor. So that's points for you as far as that goes. And to top it off, you have one less individual on the deck of the ship in case you did want to cause any kind of questionable acts or trouble.
And Sue left.
What's that?
And Sue left.
Sue left, but she's still like on the deck. She's just elsewhere doing what she does. All right, for the two that are inside of the ship, hanging out with Cookie. Cookie seems like a very chill individual. Like I said, he's a bit older. He's very peaceful seeming. He stirs away at his pot. He very nicely will point out where things are at. He'll hand you whatever tools that you need to work on whatever it is he assigns you. What are you two up to? Or is there anything that you would like to ask or find out about?
I'm gonna go sit amongst the bags of vegetables and stuff.
Okay.
And just look at the people around me.
Okay.
Is there people down here with us, or is it just
Well,
us
there's at least
three?
one in the kitchen.
It's just the three of you, yeah.
Wow, you
Oh,
really
wow.
spent a long time looking around.
Okay.
You gotta figure him out, you know.
The Cookie does not make any kind of attempt to like try to force you to do anything or try to like, give you work if you're not interested.
Is there even a lot of work? You said it's a crew of 9. I feel like...
Yeah, I suppose not. Like, I mean, he appreciates the help, and obviously you chopping up vegetables is one less thing that he has to focus on. He actually seems a little bit excited to have people hanging out with him for the sole fact that, like...
You can talk to someone?
Kind of. He doesn't talk much. Oh. But maybe just having people there, and then also the fact that, when you have, like, a pot of something that you are making, usually you have to, like, keep stirring. Or it might burn or whatever else.
Stop stirring to add stuff.
Right.
And then, yeah.
Exactly. Which he's like, oh boy, I can make something good. So
chopping up the vegetables, Mika's gonna be
munching on a carrot in my corner.
Contributing in the back.
Is my fox dog in this bundle of
supplies?
Sure.
He's kind of hanging out in the food.
He's also eating a carrot.
And he seems pretty open, or your fox dog seems pretty open about it because Cookie has made no attempt to like shoo him away or anything.
Has he seen the fox dog?
Oh yeah. He like looks over. He kind of gives him like a little nod, like "Oh, hello, little one," and then goes back to what he's doing. He seems like a really peaceful guy.
So Cookie, how long you been on this ship for?
I have been on this ship for a couple of years.
Okay.
Time is but a breath of wind. It goes and it continues on. Where it leads, I follow, like a leaf floating amidst that wind.
So, are you a airbender?
I am not an airbender, although I used to live amongst one of the airbending nations. Tribes, rather.
Okay.
How'd you get the tattoos then?
Well, I was accepted amongst the tribe. Even though I was not an airbender, I was one of the nomads. I was born to the tribe. Unfortunately, my tribe is gone.
Have you ever flown like an air glider?
I have watched, and I have been able to experience it alongside one of the more experienced airbenders, who is powerful enough to allow me to passenger on his air glider, yes. But I was not controlling it myself.
Oh yeah, don't do that. I don't recommend it.
Oh, sure.
But you probably would have known that.
Indeed. I wouldn't try to do it on my own.
Cookie?
Yes.
If you want me to call you Cookie?
Sure. Or Genji.
What's the Genji?
That was my original name. They just called me Cookie here.
Like a nickname?
Sure.
What do you want me to call you?
Whatever you prefer. A name is...
CG?
Sure.
Nice. CG. Cookie Genji. Get it?
Ah.
Yeah. Clever like that.
Sure.
What's the coolest thing about you? Like, fun fact.
Fun fact.
Yeah, fun fact. Like, me, I'm really good with a bow staff. That's my fun fact.
Yeah,
Mika...
He can bend sticks.
I can bend sticks. And Mika over there, she is moody. So what's your fun fact?
I would say that I am quite enduring.
Enduring?
Indeed.
Oh.
I have endured many things in my life.
How old are you?
I am 74.
Yep, that would be enduring. Have you been the oldest guy to, like, work this ship?
As far as I have been here, yes.
Oh.
Although I am unaware of who had come before me. But maybe there were older that had been on this ship before. I am unsure.
Huh.
What about you?
What about
Where
me?
do you come from? What's your name?
My name's Bill.
Nice to meet you, Bill.
I'm from Gualing.
Oh, wonderful. Yes, beautiful area.
Yeah?
Yes.
A lot of trees there.
Sure.
Yep. What else? That's all you asked me. What other? I like to use my bow staff. That's my fun fact. So, and like I said, that's Mika.
Nice to meet you, Mika.
I just kind of wave at him.
Where are you from, Mika?
Not around here.
Oh.
I've done a bit of traveling.
Oh, as have I. Very nice. Where have you traveled from? Into?
I recently just traveled from a tea shop.
Oh. Where was the tea shop? I do love tea. Is it good?
Yeah, it's in Gualing.
Oh, I've been to a wonderful tea shop in Gualing.
What was it called?
It was called the Blissful Brew.
Oh, sick.
It was a few years ago. I have a good friend who worked there.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Okuran, huh?
You know him?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. How is he?
I kind of bury my face in the sacks of carrots and stuff and
Yeah, I got some bad news. Cookie.
Oh, no.
pretend I'm taking a nap so he doesn't know I'm crying.
You're crying?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You start tearing up in the moment.
Yes, I also saw it, but
I'm sleeping.
Oh, you can't see because my face is buried in the sack.
You start crying, and everybody looks over at Bill, who's chopping up an onion.
And I just slide it into the stew and keep going to the next one.
Okay, you got like potatoes or something.
Yeah. About Mr. Okuran. He kind of died like a week ago.
Oh, so recently.
Yeah.
Oh, that is grave news indeed.
Yeah.
He was a good man. Very charitable. Very good at making tea. And very kind.
How close were you to Mr. Okuran?
Oh, I wouldn't say I was that close. I met him once in Gaoling. We had tea together. We talked, discussed our lives, our experiences. He asked me many questions about tea that comes from the air temples. He was very interested in that.
Huh. That's cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I thanked him for a wonderful chat and the tea, and I headed on my way.
And that was like years ago?
Indeed. It was while I was finding myself.
You have a good memory.
Thank you. When
So
you've been through what I've been through, it's important to remember all things going forward.
Enduring. I got that.
Indeed.
Yeah. But you've been through a lot.
Yes.
And you're trying to find yourself.
I was.
But you have found yourself?
I have found
on a pirate ship.
A self. A place where a part of me is happy and can be fulfilled in what I do. In the future, maybe I find another part of myself that I want to follow and learn more about.
Do you think that if you were like, I want to move on to the next chapter of my life, the captain would let you?
I'm not sure if he would let me, but I feel as though I could if I wanted to move on.
Okay.
This guy's very spiritual.
Okay, well, now you're trying and now you are sleeping.
As a nomad, it's what I do.
Okay.
I feel as though I've learned much through my life to allow me to do it well.
Cool. I really don't have really much else to add. Is the captain still having nightmares?
Oh, I think he does on occasion. But he says that he has some sort of drink that he has that helps him sleep through the night peacefully. And when he has access to it, he's able to do so.
So he still has that drink?
Oh, sure. You sound like you know of it.
Well, yeah, Okuran invented it.
Oh, this must have been before I was on the ship.
Yeah.
Long ago.
I remember Captain Rockfoot.
Sure.
Came into the shop, wanted a cure, got a cure.
Well, it definitely seems to work when he claims that he uses it.
Oh, well, that's good.
Indeed, indeed.
You kind of remember a pirate with a rock foot.
Sure.
Now, to clarify, at the time, he did not have his rock foot.
I know.
When you met, okay.
I know.
Just want to make sure. Okay.
Yeah, it kind of leaves a mark.
Sure.
Both on you and on the floor.
Oh, it is definitely something I have not seen elsewhere, and I am quite well traveled.
Is he a powerful bender? I feel like you kind of have to be to always be bending the earth to move with you.
He's a fairly capable earthbender. I'm not sure if I would say he's a master, as he spends a lot of time at sea where earth is not accessible.
Yeah, that's true. Does he have like...
But doesn't he still have a rock foot?
He has a rock foot, yeah. Does he have like a stockpile of extra rocks in case if like he accidentally like falls in and loses all those or something?
Rocks!
I believe he does keep a small pouch of earth.
A pouch?
Yes.
Just a pouch. No emergency
like a
bundles.
Bag, sack. I'm not sure how large his sack is. But he keeps it in his quarters.
His quarters. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
And that way, at the end of the day, if he
Captain's
needs
quarters.
to use his sack to fix himself up, it's available to him.
Oh, okay.
As I've understood, I have never seen him using his sack.
Oh,
before.
Okay.
In person.
You're full of emotions.
It's a very
crying, sleeping, laughing.
Yeah, sleeping
I'm
is
not
definitely an
actually
emotion.
sleeping.
Obviously, because she's
I'm working
crying
on my
and
acting
laughing.
skills.
Is that what you were saying that behind me?
Yeah.
Oh, are you? This is the first I've heard about you wanting to be an actor.
You know, life's changed a lot.
I feel like you should be talking to this guy
I'm just
about
trying to figure out,
the
you know.
ebbs and flows of life.
We all have parts of ourselves we try to explore.
Sure.
Yeah, like Earth. Thanks, Ghost Rider.
Thank you, Mr. Ghost Rider.
I was gonna say I was very impressed with
Ghost
how
Rider has spoken.
Skylar kept it together. And then the last innuendo he said about it.
He almost held it together, the whole thing.
Yeah.
I almost did. Well, it wasn't. I wasn't expecting the Ghost Rider to chime in.
So, anyways,
Sorry.
I think that's the most of what this conversation would
Yeah.
be.
Okay.
So if he has
Yeah,
any
you
more
learned a little bit
questions for us.
about Cookie. I think he's happy to. I mean, basically, just let you share whatever you're willing to share. But like I said, he seems happy to just have people around. He seems to enjoy that. So people that aren't, the rough and rowdy pirates necessarily. So, all right. So with that, you eventually finish your meal. You bring it upstairs, and the entire crew kind of collects around this big old pot of food that you guys have prepared. And everybody kind of starts to spoon out bowls of this delicious stew. And you guys all are called over. The captain seems to allow you guys to eat with the crew. So you're all sitting around on the various parts of the ship. Is there anybody in particular that anybody wants to go and talk to or interact with outside of the people that you already had access to?
Can I sit next to Bango?
Sure.
I want to sit as far away from Kalkani.
Okay, that's fine. All right. So you do that. Brock, you approach Bango.
Last I saw him,
I want to
knocked
approach
out
him.
with my bow staff.
I want to try to approach him like we've been friends for years. So I just
no.
go like, "Hey, how you doing there? I heard your name's Bango. My name's Brock, and I just wanted to sit here. Is it okay if I sit next to you?"
What do you want with me, cabin boy?
I want to be friends.
I'm not looking to make any new friends.
Well, then I can just sit here and eat, and then I'll get up and leave. But I'm chilling here if you'd like to, have a little conversation, a little powwow, a little one-on-one, bro and bro.
I won't stop you from sitting here, but if you get on my nerves, I won't promise I won't punch you.
I'm willing to take that risk.
All right. Have a seat.
Well,
And he
thank
goes
you.
back to eating his stew. He does the Oonga Boonga grip where he holds the spoon with, I don't even know how to describe that. You make a fist and the spoon is coming out of one side of the fist and you just jam it into the stew and then
I like how you said Oonga Boonga.
that's all I know how it's called. It's like a caveman,
Not just straight drinking it.
No, he's not straight drinking.
So what is in the stew? What is the stew? Because I might be like, hey, you know what's good in there? Some cabbage. I know a guy.
Oh?
Yeah.
We do eat quite a bit of cabbage on this ship.
I grew up on a cabbage farm, not too far from here in the Earth Kingdom, so it might be some of ours.
What kind of cost per crate can I expect from your cabbage dealer?
I think we're 20 silver for a crate of, I think, about 100.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Where is this cabbage dealer?
It was in Omashu. It's in the Earth Kingdom. If I've heard you're the first mate, you might have some power to maybe veer the ship over that way if you want to get a good deal on some cabbage.
We're not headed to Omashu currently. We are headed to Udao, and there's no turning from that path. But I will put your dealer down, and I will talk to the quartermaster, who can possibly put it on the list of possible connections that we could purchase from later.
Well, I'm the dealer. It's me and my family's farm. So it's
Family's farm.
Yeah, I grew up on the cabbage farm.
In Omashu.
In Omashu, yes, sir.
Okay.
So,
what are you asking for?
I'm not asking for anything. I can get you the deals if you're looking for them. But all I ask in return is your friendship.
Are you planning on staying with the crew after Udao?
If you guys want to give us a lift to the next place, because we've got kind of an inkling we're going to have to go to another place afterwards.
I think the plan is to take whatever treasure you've been promised and leave.
Well, I'm pretty sure that
without you.
Well, see, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure because you saw what we had, right, with just the note.
Mm-hmm.
So we're guessing that the treasure we're gonna find in Udao is just gonna be another note that I don't think you guys are gonna know how to decipher without us.
If we get to Udao and all we find is another note, I cannot promise you'll be returning anywhere.
Now, why would you go and do that?
Yeah.
I feel like there's some underlying issues we need to address.
I feel
This
like
coming
there's
from
an
Brock.
I feel like you need to be quiet until we get to Udao, where we will get the treasure and be on our way.
I'm just letting you know you
be
might
grateful where we feeding you.
I'm just saying you might be a little disappointed if you're expecting treasure in Udao. Like we're going on
a greatly disappointed.
But you're supposed
you wouldn't like me if I was greatly disappointed.
But you see, I would think that as a pirate you would yearn for adventure just as children yearn for the mines. Because if we get this treasure in Udao and it's just another note, then we are just going on an adventure together as a team. So wouldn't you want an adventure to try and find the end of this, these sort of multiple clues that we're being given?
You're saying that if we get to Udao, and there's a note to another note to another note that allegedly eventually leads to treasure, you would expect for us to cater you around until we get to that eventual treasure.
If you want to actually find the treasure, then yes, you're probably going to need us.
Let me ask you this. You talk about expectations.
Yes.
What expectation do you have about what we're going to find at the end of this long adventure?
If I remember right, it's
Bill is just shaking and nodding his head at you in a kind of unspecified way.
You see, we expect to find
Probably just teeth broken now.
Don't tell him that. So we expect to find
Oh, dirty Tee-Reasure.
Can Bill just be like, we're supposed, like he's butting into the conversation, like we're supposed to find just tea.
Yeah,
it's like,
probably just tea.
Tee-Reasure. Treasure. The person we're finding it for is he has a bit of an impediment. You see, he calls it Tee-Reasure, and we give him a little hard time about it. Yeah, as I'm like shoving my fist like into Bill's mouth.
But tell me, what kind of treasure are you expecting to find here?
In Udao or at the end?
Apparently at the end of this journey.
Well, let's just say you're not going to want to throw it into a harbor. You don't want to throw it into a harbor because then it's going to sink, right? But you see, the treasure we'll find is rich beyond your imagination.
Friends we make along the way.
Shut up, Bill!
You know what? Here's what I need to explain to you. Every journey we make on our boat costs us valuable resources.
Mm-hmm.
Treasure from the previous thing that we spent in order to purchase food, in order to purchase water, in order to keep the crew that's here with their will, or for their will. How do you say that?
Not against their will.
Not against their will.
On their own volition.
On the ship.
Mm-hmm.
The other ones we don't care about. They don't get paid. But the ones that do stay are getting paid. And so that's a lot of resource being spent to make an expedition. And you're telling me we're going to make expedition after expedition after expedition, and you won't tell me what treasure lies at the end of this multi-expedition trip.
Yes.
I will...
He takes a moment and he thinks. He thinks to himself,
what would they have to gain if they wouldn't tell me what treasure lies at the end of this? But they'll tell me there's treasure there. It seems kind of questionable, a little bit sus.
And he stands up and he says,
Captain, I would like to have a word with you.
Tee-Reasure.
Tee-Reasure.
It's
Or it's
just
like-
baseball something. You sound like someone saying Tee-Reasure.
Tee-Reasure.
We got Tee-Reasure.
I'm expecting that fully to be on like the fourth note. Mr. Okuran left is, you were one step away from finding my Tee-Reasure.
Or it's like Tony the Tiger.
Yeah.
They're great treasures. You see him and the captain kind of move off to the side, and they start kind of talking, and it starts to get a little bit heated. They're kind of arguing with each other. The captain occasionally will shout like, well, we're already on our way, so what's the point in stopping now? And then he'll say, I don't think that there is much of a treasure for us to find at the end of all this. They seem pretty questionable. Plus, they're a bunch of kids. And as they argue, the rest of the crew obviously is kind of looking over at it and kind of surprised. All of a sudden, you hear another character, somebody that you haven't met yet. He's a bit younger. You might have at least seen him, but you haven't like talked to him or whatever the case. He shouts out, Captain! Captain! I see it! It's here! And the captain immediately just freezes, and he turns his head, and he says, You see what, Zazu? And he says, It's the beast. And everybody rushes over to the side of the ship, including yourselves, I assume, based off the fact that everybody rushes over there to look at something in the water. And sure enough, you rush over and you see a large scaled fin inside the water coming towards the boat in sort of like a zigzaggy, like a smooth zigzaggy wiggly pattern. And all of a sudden it leaps from the waves and you see this massive hulking gator shark fly through the air over the hull of the ship and back into the water on the other side. And the captain shouts out, "It's him! It's Kuma! Everybody to your stations!" And with that, we're going to end this episode.
Thank you so much for listening to our show. Of course, don't forget to follow or subscribe to our podcast through whatever podcast site that you're using, such as iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and others. Additionally, you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Just look for the social media icons. Following us on social media gives you access to all news, announcements, and of course new episodes as they are released. You can check out our website, bendersandbrews.com, which will feature all of our episodes as well as news, announcements, and even cool character and player profiles. It's a great hub of information for the Benders and Brews podcast. And finally, we would be truly humbled if you would be willing to take the time to leave us a review if your podcast site allows you to do so, such as on iTunes. Or in the case of YouTube, you can hit the like and subscribe button and drop us a comment. Tell us about what you thought about our podcast episodes. It sure would mean a lot to us. Avatar Legends is a tabletop role-playing game created by Magpie Games. Nickelodeon, Avatar, and all related titles, logos, and characters are trademarks of Viacom International Inc., all rights reserved. I also want to thank the following artists who you can find on Fiverr for their amazing creative work on this podcast. Character art was done by alessiopapadraw. Background art by Kennicchi. Music by Joe Timms 215. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode.